So it was probably one of the biggest pieces of Canadian CanCon horror of its era. A movie so weird that certain tropes, including kind of Nightmare on Elm Street special effects, key Canadian actors like Michael Ironside and Wayne Gretzky's brother was in this. Probably the best movie ever filmed in Edmonton. Well, horror movie anyway. It's Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. The supernatural slasher film was directed by Bruce Pittman, written by Ron Oliver, and starred Michael Ironside, Wendy Lyon, Louis Ferrer, and Lisa Schrang. It follows Vicky Carpenter, a high school student, becomes possessed by Mary Lou Maloney, a student who died at a high school prom in '57. A kind of sequel to the slasher film Prom Night, which starred Jamie Lee Curtis. It was originally intended to be a standalone film titled The Haunting of Hamilton High, but was retitled in order to capitalize on the success of the original Prom Night. Now, the Ricky Nelson hit, Hello Mary Lou, sort of as a thematic connection with all the weird scenes. Has probably some of the most interesting killings in any horror movie, and a very bizarre nude scene in a shower that has to be seen believed, where killer lockers take over. Now, the only connection between the two films is that they are set at the same high school. Both films were EP'd by Peter R. Simpson. Now, filmed in Edmonton, it was retitled Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 by its Canadian distributor Alliance Films. Released theatrically in the U.S. by the Samuel Goldwyn Company in October '87, it grossed a very respectable $3 million at the U.S. box office. The film received mixed reviews from critics, with many drawing stylistic comparisons with various other films of the era, ranging from Blue Velvet to Carrie and the Nightmare on Elm Street. Now, the character Mary Lou Maloney would also appear in the next installment, Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss. Better to avoid it. Now, cinematography by John Herzog, music by Paul Zaza, not Joey Zaza. Release date October 16, 87, 97 minutes, and did make money at the box office. Did very well on video. Now, this one, 57 at a high school senior prom. Student Billy Nordham discovers to date Mary Lou Maloney making out with another boy named Buddy Cooper. Mary Lou breaks up with Billy and infuriates him, which reveals that she was just using him. Shortly after, Mary Lou is announced prom queen, and Billy, looking for revenge, throws a stink bomb onto a stage as a prank. However, the fuse of the bomb accidentally ignites Mary Lou's dress, and she burns to death in front of the horrified students, but not before looking up and seeing who was responsible. Sort of like a Carrie-S end. Now, 30 years later, student Vicky Carpenter goes looking for a dress in the school prop room after being denied a new dress by her overly religious mother, Virginia. Again, Carrie references. There, Vicky finds an old trunk containing the cape and gown that Mary Lou was supposed to wear during the crowning process. She takes the accessories and leaves them in the school overnight, inadvertently releasing Mary Lou's spirit in the process. That night, Vicky's friend Jess is killed by Mary Lou's ghost after she tries to remove the jewels from her crown. Jess's death is ruled as a suicide brought on by the unexpected pregnancy. Now, Vicky begins to experience surreal, nightmarish hallucinations involving Mary Lou and informs Buddy, who is now her priest. The following night, Buddy's Bible spontaneously combusts after he attempts to bless Mary Lou's grave. And the confession scene should be seen to believe. Now, worried, Buddy approaches Billy, who is now the high school principal. He tries to warn Billy that Mary Lou has come back from the grave, but is dismissed as crazy. Later, Vicky winds up in detention after she inadvertently slaps her rival Kelly during another hallucination. There, Vicky is possessed by Mary Lou after she pulls her through a blackboard that transforms into a whirlpool. Great special effects, by the way. That night, Vicky confronts Buddy at the church and murders him after revealing her possession. Now, the next day, Vicky's friends notice that her personality and fashion style has suddenly changed drastically. One of Vicky's friends, Monica Waters, privately confronts Vicky in the locker room, but is killed quickly after doing so. Like I said, the big locker scene. Vicky then reveals her possession to Billy and taunts him. That night, Billy finds Mary Lou's corpse missing from her grave, with Buddy's corpse in his place. Now, at the prom, Kelly, desperate to become prom queen, sucks off her classmate Josh since she's charged of the voting results. When Josh changes the outcome to make Kelly the winner, Vicky electrocutes him to death through his computer and reverses his changes. Once announced as prom queen, Vicky goes up on stage and eagerly waits for her crown. Before she can get it, Billy shoots her multiple times in the horror of the crowd. Shortly after, the now fully resurrected Mary Lou bursts out of Vicky's body and uses her power to wreak havoc on the prom, killing Kelly in the process. Billy tries to shoot the undead Mary Lou, but fails and injures himself. fails and falls and injures himself. Now, Mary Lou then sets her sights on Billy's son and Vicky's boyfriend Craig, whom she chases into the prop room. She attempts to use the trunk that held her spirit to open a vortex and suck Craig into the underworld, but before she can, Billy arrives with her crown and finally gives it to Mary Lou, seemingly bringing an end to the murder's wrath. Vicky, now freed of possession, comes out of the trunk and reunites with Craig, and Billy offers them offers to drive the boat home after making sure they are both okay. After they all get into his car, however, Billy reveals that he's now possessed by Mary Lou before driving off with the terrified Vicky and Craig. Now, of course, Wendy Line, a great performance as Vicky Carpenter, and Richard Monette as Father Buddy Cooper. Bad luck. Alicia Schrang plays Mary Lou Maloney with Terry Hawkes as Kelly. Now, and again, Glenn Gretzky plays Robert. Now, the film was intentionally going to be titled The Haunting of Hamilton High, and includes many references and homage to past horror films in the script, including A Nightmare of Elm Street, Carrie, and The Exorcist. They're different. Several characters were named after popular horror film directors and other cult figures, including John Carpenter, George Romero, Wes Craven, Frank Henenlotter, Stephen King, John Waters, Dan O'Bannon, Edward D. Wood Jr., and of course Todd Browning. Shot at Westmount Junior High School in Edmonton on a budget of approximately $2.5 million Canadian, which was big for Canada at the time. Other portions of the film were shot inside an abandoned furniture store. The Toronto-based Simcon Limited produced the film, while the media company Alarcom also co-funded its production. Filming began in early August '86. The production shows Edmonton to the local schools board's enthusiasm about shooting a film in the city, as well as the fact that the local schools had a neo-Gothic architecture the producers had envisioned. Now, Kevin Thomas of the LA Times gave the film a positive review, praising Lyon's performance and drawing comparisons to Blue Velvet. He said, "You don't have to take Mary Lou at all seriously, and it probably would have been a mistake to do so." Now, Betsy Sherman of the Boston Globe didn't like it. He deemed the film a miserly slice and dicer, Carrie without the bucket of blood. Now, not true. There's a very famous scene, got a lot of blood. Though she conceded that some was livened by the presence of Michael Ironside. Now, Stephen Hunter of the Baltimore Sun criticized what is described as rudimentary script as the waste of Michael Ironside. I don't think he's wasted at all. He played against type. Now, in a review aggregate Rotten Tomatoes, Hello Mary Lou Prom Night holds 56 approval based on 18 critics' reviews with an average rating of 5 out of 10. I think I'd give it more like 7 or 8. Now, if you go on YouTube, you can get the uncut version, I think the big Blu-ray, but you have to see the locker room scene to believe. Lyon is stunning in her nudity, and it's more stunning where she uses kind of her bisexual killer vibe to take care of one of her rivals. Has to be seen to believe, and it harkens back one of the best science fiction or special effects moment in Canadian movie history. I give this movie 7 out of 10. There's no other way to say it. It's a very, very good popcorn movie, and every Halloween we show a Christmas story in Canada on the Christmas Day. We should be showing this movie on Halloween Eve, like this October 30th, just as a prep for, because nothing better than Canadian low budget CanCon, because you got Cronenberg, you got Ironside, you even got members of SCTV, Reitman, all the directors. Anyway, and Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing here, what are Canadian movie tributes, on a day where Trump is providing about 100% tariffs on our movies, good luck on that, fuckface. Have a nice day. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, or share.